Hey guys, ADTVM here, and today we are at the Booster Build Up series, Build Up 2, and it's the fourth chapter, General Opening Principle. So, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the opening principles as the name suggests. So, I'll just give you examples. So, the first is rapid development of pieces. The second is struggle for the center. The third is struggle against your opponent's ideas, which actually matters a lot. So, anyways, we have a beautiful game between Mikhail Botvinnik and Lothar Schmidt. So, without any further ado, let's get to it. So, the game starts with d4, c5. Oops, sorry about that. Just a second. d5, d6. Sorry, d5, d6, e4, g6, nf3, bg7, bishop e2, knight f6, knight c3, knight a6. Black intends to play knight to c7 followed by a6 b5, so which is a nice pawn storm and it gives black an upper hand. Anyways, so continues with castling knight c7, a4, a6. Here castling is also an equal and mating. Anyways, knight d2, which is a very great move. Uh, because it's currently planning knight to c4, and after that while knight to b6, and after a5 it's going to be a beautiful outpost. Okay, wait, why did I put that right there? And it's going to look as a beautiful outpost. We'll just see how. So black plays bishop to d7, knight e4, knight c4 as a gesture, sorry, and now b5. Okay, at first glance, black has achieved everything. White retreats. If white retreats, then you got what you wanted. But um, he actually wants to take control of the center with this idea, and now actually he has majority of the control, as you can just see. But if the knight retreats, it's also going in a bad position. Then it's a winning position. But at the moment, it's a beautiful move coming up, because you really want to come inside and finish your opponent. Anyways, we have to view this from the white's perspective. So e5. Now, if you take my knight, I'll take yours back. That's the simple idea behind it. And here, as I have written, open the position to attack the opponent king. So if you take, then I'll take back, and now I can play rook e1. Then my bishop can move, and so it's a attacking position. Bishop is also aiming towards opponent's castle. Anyways, so opponent took back and takes back, and after takes back, this is a mistake because of we can. Okay, I'll just explain why it's a mistake in a second. But d takes e5 has also and subvariant as I just showed, picking up the knight, and after take back bishop into. Okay, and you play bishop to h6, and this same position is in the example 3.8 of the last chapter. So, anyways, a takes b5 and a takes b5. Now, here a takes b5 is a mistake, and you have to play knight takes b5, knight takes b5, knight takes e5. Anyway, you are going to use the e5 pawn, but it's better. Okay, so after takes, and now I'm grabbing the e5 pawn and b4. Okay, here a better move would be okay. Better move will be knight c into d5, the taking the pawn, because now after takes, you can take the free pawn, and it's more of a winning position, more of a winning position. Okay, and I think we can also consider this pin as I'll also have three attackers, and you will have only two defenders. But you can play e6, so it's not much. Anyways, b4, and I played d6. Okay, not I, Mikhail Botvinnik played d6 in the idea of attacking the uncastled king. So if you take, so let's just assume you take and I take, and now my queen is completely dominating your territory. Like you can't do anything, and now you can't even castle. That's like the beauty of the queen. So now you grab the knight, and I'm going to grab it back anyways. But let me just show you why queen takes c7 is wrong, because you can castle knight d7, knight d7. Okay, here queen d7 could be option, but well the pawn will take the pawn and you will go pawn down after. Let me just show you. Okay, here if you take queen takes knight, a variation takes and takes, you have lost the advantage of which you are a pawn up. So after this you have to play b3. Anyways, so another continuation. Okay, we just saw that. So this is unclear, and you can also play bishop to f3 in this position. In which position I am telling you? After d6, bc3. Sorry, b6, and after you let me have the control, and instead of b takes c, after b takes c3, you can play bishop to f3, and after queen a6 and knight c6, it's partially, or white is much better over here. Yeah, white is much better over here, as I just told you. Anyway, so d6, bc3 as the opponent did, and now I'll take grab your knight exchange. Sorry, and now we both have our passed pawns quite way too much succeeded in going ahead. So we'll just see if you what will happen if you grab the pawn. I'll simply have a discover attack, and which will be winning. So cb2, and now I have to stop the pawns from promoting. Sorry, I have to promote my pawn. So working towards that, and now as my pawn is supported, I can try to remove the queen by knight to b6. So you take my knight, and now I pin your knight, and after move like c3 you have to move your bishop. But if you try to play e, okay, you have to move your bishop, and if you do that, but if you do that, and now whoops, what happened? So you have to be aware, that's why you can't move your bishop. So e5, attacking my bishop, so I'm going to take yours, you can take my back, and now I'm going to take the knight, and after you take back I am going to give you a check. Okay, a better check would, a better or a faster variation would be queen to a4, and after tick I can get back. Oh, sorry, I can check you, and after king e7, rook e1. So both of my pieces are into the attack, and it's a clear winning position. If I even don't manage to, and even if I just a second, even if I just leave the attacking and simply grab the with the check, it's winning. So going to e2 anyways, king to f8, queen e5, trying to blockade the king completely, which you have managed to do, and now king g8 is forced as you don't want to lose your rook, and now rook to b1, stopping the passed pawn. So f6, trying to escape, and I'll just grab the free pawn here. So you move, I take the free pawn, another free pawn, and now you try to threaten mate, and I try to stop it, f3, and I didn't get the idea of f3, but it's just a free pawn, so I just grabbed it. Okay, queen to h3 would be the idea, and now it's completely winning as now your pawn is going to promote anyhow, and you also have some nasty threats like queen to b7 and then promote, so you have a checkmate kind of situation. And okay, so next game, and actually more than I practiced this game, I was practicing the names of the players. So let's see how it works out. Nezhmet Danov R versus Piotr Quij. Yes, I did manage to do that. Anyways, so let's go with the game. And I think it's a pretty short game of only 20 moves. Actually, the game was only of 18 moves, but they have given some extension. So e4, c6, and f3, d5, and c3, bg4, bishop h3, bishop f3, queen f2. Technically speaking, I never ever capture the knight because you lose another tempo. But anyhow, after you retreat, you're going to lose another tempo. So it's up to you. But giving the access is a queen in the early game, and now the light squared bishop can come out after takes and takes back the light squared bishop can come in the game. So it's quite great here. So e6 and now d4, knight to f6 and bishop to d3, which might look surprising because now you are going a pawn down. So after takes and now queen takes d4. Here you might be thinking, why not knight takes e4? But after I take back, this pawn is protected, so you really don't sack a pawn. So first you grab the pawn, and now I kick your queen. Here you have done a mistake, as now there is a chances of your queen getting trapped. So apparently I have to save my rook, and I also have to plan to attack your queen. So I will just going to castle. So knight into knight, bishop into. Here queen into knight could also be an option, as after that um, okay, just let me show you. After that, rook to b1 is an idea, so your queen can be trapped. Not it's it's not getting immediately trapped because queen to a3 is there, but even queen takes a2 is there. So I think it's a rook fb1, but it's just an idea. Bishop into, and now queen to f6. Now when you are in an attacking position, you don't want to trade queens, so queen to g3. Here you have threatening queen to c7, so queen to d8, and now rook to d1. And I'm in a tempo, I'm in a clear winning position. So rook a to b1, and now here you might see the sack. Rook to b7, rook takes b7 check, and after queen takes b7, bishop to c6. It's just an idea right now, but this will be the winning idea in the game. Actually, it was a puzzle. I gave up the answer already. Anyways, here bishop to g5. Now, what you shouldn't do is the move he did. Because he played knight to f6. Here, what he should have played is the move h6, killing the bishop. And now a bishop comes back into its place. And now you can play knight to f6, which will kick my other bishop. So my position will become a little cramped. Uh, Quite dubious. So I am going to take your knight, takes back, and now queen to f3. As I just told you to plan the same idea. Here queen to c3 is also possible, having the same idea, and after bishop to g7, rook takes b7, as I just said. You could try to play queen to b4, but f5 comes and now everything starts to fall apart. And here if your opponent castles and doesn't fall for the trap, it's not completely winning. It's why to win advantage +1 or yeah +1. So that's that. So f5. Here it's a tactical mistake, and as I just told you, you can just grab a pawn here, and you can't take the capture because the fork is coming. And here you are going like crazy winning material. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the games, and I am going to come today with the 12 examples of this chapter. So stay tuned, please subscribe. Even a little subscription helps me to do this puzzle, so I can be more happy, I can create more content and more people can enjoy that content. So that's it. I am ADTVM and I am signing up. Hope you enjoy.